Regular board meeting, January the 18th. We'll begin with prayer and ask Mr. Meyer if he'll lead us.
Yes, Baldwin, please. Lord, we thank you for this day. We ask you to forgive us where we fail you. We know it's many. We just ask for that forgiveness, Lord. We ask you to be with our students, our employees. We just thank you so much for keeping that protective dome over us. We ask, Lord, that everything we say and do tonight and all decisions that we make will be pleasing unto you and bring shining light to your kingdom. Ask all this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Will you join us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any letters of commendation tonight? Do we have any letters of commendation tonight?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Louise, our minutes will be approved next month? Okay, thank you. All right, we do have a couple of delegations, a couple of folks who want to speak with us tonight. I'll just mention before they come, you're allowed 3 minutes, and we ask you not to use anyone's name. Don't be personal with what you do. Present us good, helpful information. We're looking forward to hearing it. When you get it to the podium with the microphone, just introduce yourself, and then your 3-minute time period will begin. Our first speaker tonight is Rebecca Watson.
Ms. Watson.
It's right here.
Oh, what?
That's right.
Hi, Rebecca Watson, 124 Fig Avenue, Fairhope, Alabama. Can I? Okay. I'm coming to address you tonight in regards to a curriculum request that I made. I requested to see the counseling curriculum, any and all counseling curriculum that is being taught in Baldwin County, and I realized that was a very broad request. I'm kind of new at this, so forgive me if I made a huge request. I did not realize how large Baldwin County is. I haven't lived here for very long. Anyhow, I want to address it because I received a letter from Sarah Young telling me that I didn't provide a reason for my request, and that the board's position is that there is no justification on the face of your request which would satisfy the foregoing requirement. And I wasn't aware that I needed to make a reason for my request. I'm a parent of a child in the Baldwin County schools, and I just thought that that was enough. And then I was also told that some of the curriculum that I requested could be confidential and copyrighted. And I just want to come as a mom, a Christian mom that wants to know what my children are learning in school, what they're being talked to about in the classroom. And if I'm being told that there is confidential information being shared in a classroom and I can't see it, that's a problem. And this letter continually says the board. So I'd like to know, Ms. Lynn, did you say that I shouldn't see this curriculum?
No, and I understand you were invited, weren't you, to come look at the curriculum?
No. I've never received an invitation to come to the school. However, there was another gentleman that did request the curriculum, and they actually did invite him to come review the curriculum in the school. I have never been told that I can come to the school to review it. So my concern is I want to know which board members, who are you, that said that I don't have a right to see it?
We didn't vote on it.
So how did I receive a letter that says the board specifically several times, and you're telling me it wasn't voted on? So should I have the right to see it or not? I don't understand.
You do, and I'm sure she can be invited to come and see that.
Ms. Watson, your request and the things you're asking require a legal explanation. When I write legal opinions and legal responses under the Open Records Act, I represent the board and the system as a whole. And so when I use the term the board, it is just a response based on my representation of the board.
So
Wait, you asked the question. The board doesn't vote on matters of open records requests. That's a day-to-day duty that's delegated to me as legal counsel. And in addition, I did try to send you a second request inviting you to come meet with us and inspect the curriculum, but your email was returned down.
Interesting, because I've spoken to you several times through email, along with, I think you're paralegal, so if you don't have the right email address, and also you gave the lady
have
at the driveway my telephone number, so you could have called me at any moment, and you never did. So I don't know what email address you sent it to, but we have had many correspondence back and forth. So.
I sent it to the correct email address multiple times, and it's been shut down and turned off.
Well, you are the only person, maybe we need to talk to Google. But regardless, when a parent is coming forward, I missed my son's baseball game, I'm now missing his basketball game. I am a parent, and when I come forward and take time out of my life because I want to be involved in my children's life, if there is nothing concerning in there, I don't understand why you wouldn't just provide it to me, or why the letter that was sent to me when it says the board, if you're responding on behalf of the board, I would think that you would consult with them before you tell a parent that the board is telling me I can't have the curriculum I'm asking for. And so it's very confusing. And I really, really want to, I want to be an involved parent in my kid's life. And so it's frustrating, and it's really difficult to do that when I feel like I'm being put in a situation where I have to be defensive, because when I make these requests, I want to be, I want us to be a team, because if there's something in there that doesn't look right, I'm sure you would be just as concerned as me. But when I see this tells me that we're not a team. Now it's me against you guys, and I don't understand that. And by the way, I do want to say one thing. I do appreciate you canceling school. So I didn't complain about that. Thank you. I did appreciate that very much.
Hey,
and I wish you would have canceled on Wednesday too. But anyway, so that's all I have to say. And I did include in the packet I gave you guys, well, let me say one more thing. The other gentleman who did a request, he was offered to come into the school. And not only that, he was told to talk to John Gray about his request, and nowhere was that mentioned to me. I followed every rule that I was told. I emailed who I was supposed to email. I tried to follow all the rules, and like I said, I'm new and I don't really know how everything works, but I want to learn. And so I really felt like I did everything I could in the right way. And then, of course, the things that Sarah corrected me on, I learned from that, and I'll go forward, being cognizant of those things. But I don't understand why you have one person told one thing and go to this route and go talk to this person, and then you have me being told something else.
Ms. Washington, what school is it that you would like to go visit?
What school do I want to visit?
And
I want to see the counseling curriculum, and I just basically asked for it. I'm assuming that it's the same curriculum taught in every school, but maybe there's different curriculum. I don't know. Pick a school.
Well, you just said you were not asked to come to the school. What school is that?
I don't know.
High school. Hey, I'd like to
I have no idea. That's what Sarah's, sorry.
I think
Andrea Lindsay said that. I don't know.
One of the things I'm grateful for that we had
But I
straightened
didn't
out
know you
tonight
didn't
is
get
that I'm
it.
your board member and not Mike in North Baldwin. And I understand that's difficult because the voting districts for the commission are certainly different than the school
Right.
districts.
Okay.
So District 6 is best feeder pattern, feral feeder pattern. What I'd like to make sure that I understand, you would be welcome to go to Fairhope High School and observe. Am I right? Am I saying the truth? Why are you looking at me
you would
funny?
contact the principal. They'd set up a time if you would like to come and discuss.
You know what? I have no doubt he would welcome me in there. And he's an amazing man, and I really care for him and like him very much. I was just going the appropriate route of doing an open records request. This is what I was told to do.
Hey, I'm not sure where you
So
came
that's
from.
what I
but
did.
There's a simple way and a hard way, and the hard way I'm starting to learn is the Open Meetings Act of the state of Alabama. The Baldwin County way is if we could have to communicate before all this, I think we could have averted a whole lot of heartache and probably bad
Okay,
feelings.
I'm not interested in this because I'm going to tell you this right now. As a parent, there needs to be there needs to be a way that it's followed, and that protects you,
Yeah.
and that protects the parent. And going around Baldwin County and asking people if I can come in and, no. We have a system in place, and we should all follow it. And that is very important because there's so many parents who don't know where to begin. And when you have this facet and this facet, it gets confusing. And so let's make one way to do it, and it provides consistency and direction, and it protects, like I said, you guys and the parents too. I think there's rules that have to be followed, and I want to follow those rules.
That's the Open Meetings Act, so we're good.
I know because we want to hear from them, we've gone past that 3 minutes.
Yes, I'm sorry.
But
I
also,
can
Ms.
see that.
Watson, we want to follow the process, but I don't want to do anything illegal, so I'm going to follow the legal process.
I agree.
That's why we have an attorney.
I agree.
So, and I understand parents sometimes don't understand that legal process or don't want to understand it, and it gets very confusing and frustrating, and I do know that. Because a lot of parents think, look, I'm asking a question, give me an answer. And sometimes it's just not that simple.
I understand that, and I know that this is a very large county, and there's a lot of schools, and I want you to know that I am a parent that values education. I value my children's education, all children. I love all children, and there are some things that are happening in schools in Alabama and all across the United States that we should all be concerned about and aware of. And it's very important that we all understand what those things are so that when we see them, we can stop them. And I moved here from a state where there was a lot of good people in charge, and somehow all of these things, these divisive concepts that we don't really want our children learning, got in there. And so all I want to do is be able to educate myself, and when my kids get home from school, I want to be able to talk to them about their day, and if they were talked to in the classroom about something that
It's controversial
they want to, or not even that, but even something. I have a child that passed away, so my daughter has suffered the loss of her brother, and so if they're in the classroom talking about grief, that can trigger her to feel some things. And when she gets home from school, I want to be able to say, okay, I understand that this was talked to today.
Sure.
Is there anything you want to talk about? Because parents know when you pick your kid up from school and you ask them how their day was, 90% of the time, they don't actually go into detail. They say, oh, it was okay, or it was fine. And so I want to be able to reach my child. So I'm not even asking for this counseling curriculum because I'm going to, highlight it all and find out where you guys are all messing up, and then I'm going to get you. I want it for my own situation, for my own child and what we've been through as a family to support her. And so
Well, I understand.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And when you made the comment, if something's going on that shouldn't be going on possibly in different places of the country or here in Baldwin County, we want to know it. I want to know it because some of this material that's sitting here, that's old.
what I gave you.
That's old news.
And that was in Baldwin County.
Yeah, it was, and that's old news. And do you think any of us would go and put that up in a school?
I don't know how that got into the gym.
I don't either.
And
but
I didn't know if you were aware.
It was
So-
I wasn't, and it was taken down when I found out it was that what happened.
Yeah.
But
So that's what I'm talking about. Like, stuff like that can get in.
It can.
And so I think we just need to be aware, and we need to work together.
I agree
And so
100%.
when a parent comes and says, I want to see that curriculum, you got to give it to them. I don't even see why you wouldn't. Let's all look at it. And as a matter of fact, if it's confidential and copyrighted or whatever the problem is, let's have a night where you invite all the parents that are interested in the curriculum that they're teaching in regards to the counseling program. Let's have a night and invite the parents and go through his PowerPoint presentation and show us and let us ask questions. You know, we can do better at being more inclusive, of inviting the parents in and being more inclusive. We could do a better job.
Thank you, Ms. Watson.
And that's all.
Appreciate that.
Mr. Tyler, I do want to share that we are having that night. Allison Moore is holding an informational meeting for all community members and parents to come hear about her curriculum.
Can I just say one thing about that? Just food for thought. I've actually spoken to her. She did invite me to come to Thriveway and review the curriculum. However, as a parent, I'm not asking to go into an organization and review what that organization is doing. I want to see how they're implementing it in the school. And also, are there additional supplemental materials that are being implemented along with it? That's why I came to the school. I could have gone to her, but that doesn't even make sense to me. I don't send my child to Thriveway. I send my child to the Baldwin County School. So, of course, I'm going to come and ask how is it, I want to see how it's being implemented. Are there other things that you're using along with it? And so she can have any sort of informational night she wants, but it's the school's responsibility. The second you start taking third-party material and implementing it into a public school, it's the school's responsibility to go through it with the parents, not the third party.
Thank you, Ms. Watson.
We have one more person who would like to speak to us tonight, Isabella Ransom, a student. Be sure and tell us which school you attend.
Isabella Ransom. Oh, hold on. Isabella Ransom, 14, freshman, Robertsdale High School, 2764 Barber Lane, Robertsdale. I am a member of the STEM program and potentially former member of the Color Guard and Band. I am being discriminated against on the basis of academics. I am being forced to choose between an academic program, STEM, and being involved with an extracurricular activity. Because the Color Guard meets during the day at a time when I am in a STEM class, I am unable to participate at that time. However, I was able to participate in an after-school practice with videos being shared of the routines. I successfully completed the marching band season with only one conflict. I was ready to try out for Winter Guard and was pulled aside by the band director immediately before tryouts and was told, "It won't work, might as well not try out." I asked if there could be videos and was told, "No, that is not an option." Through an act of obedience, I listened to the band director's guidance and did not try out. Based on his insistence, there was no possible workaround. Not knowing any better, I also assumed there would be no after-school practice, only to discover after the Winter Guard tryouts that there is after-school practice and there are videos being created and shared, which is no different than what I was doing during marching season. This has affected my mental health negatively. I finally found an activity after 14 years that I actually enjoy and want to be a part of, only to be told by the band director that it is impossible. I sit for an entire class period doing absolutely nothing. This is my band period, but I don't play an instrument. In fact, I had asked if I could start learning the trumpet and was told I had exhausted all of the favors from the band director and he did not want to be betrayed by my choice of academics over the extracurricular activity. The stress over this conflict and situation caused me to have a mental breakdown and be hospitalized in December, causing me to miss my midterm exams before break. So not only is this affecting my ability to participate in extracurricular activities, it's affecting my academics as well. The fact that we have not gotten a resolution from the principal or STEM leaders and only the band director dictating what I cannot do is frustrating, when clearly there is a workaround, but he refuses to acknowledge one. No accommodation was even attempted. I was intimidated and bullied. Instead of seeking legal recourse, I have decided to come seek resolution from the superintendent. I am concerned how this will affect future students who choose to attend Baldwin Prep as well. You should know we are actively being told by the band director that we will not be allowed to participate in band if we attend this school. I want to leave you with a few questions that I hope you, the BCBE school board and superintendent, can help answer for me. Can someone please clarify that this is permissible, that the band director has authority to force me to choose between academics and my extracurricular activity? Why do we have a leader in position who chooses convenience and being right over servicing the students? Shouldn't the students' best interest come first? Is it common practice to have an instructor leading our students and competitive teams from the Gulf Shore City School District? Can we get our school leadership guidance on how to proceed with this conflict? Accommodations are made every day for other students. What makes me not deserving of that? Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. You speak very well. Thank you. And go Bears. And I will talk to Mr. Sharp, our secondary assistant superintendent, let him look into your situation. I would never make you any promises, but, because we need to find out the facts from all sides. And I will say, when you're in high school especially, sometimes, and I'm not necessarily addressing your situation, but sometimes students do have to make a choice, because the day is only so long and you can only fit so much into a 7-period day with all the things that students want to do extracurricular-wise. So it can get a little bit complicated and confusing, but I admire you the way you came and spoke to the board, and I'll talk to Mr. Sharp, and he'll see if he can't look into your situation.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Isabella. Good job. Do we have any amendments to the agenda?
Yes, sir, we do. Amend number 7, leave of absence of personnel. Number 8, retirement and resignation of personnel. Number 10, intent to transfer of personnel. Number 12, employment of personnel. Number 14, extra work for extended periods.
Do we have a motion to accept these amendments?
I move we amend the agenda.
Motion made by Cecil, second by April. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll go with our items.
Agenda item 1, Public Works. Excuse me. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the low bidders meeting specifications for public works projects as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So moved.
Motion by Jason, second by Rondi. Do we have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes.
Agenda item 2, owner-architect proposal. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the owner-architect proposal with Adam Stewart Architects for architectural, excuse me. Excuse me.
Okay.
I'm gonna need a minute.
All right. We're going to take a little short recess here. Hold on.
You got water?
Yeah, he's got some.
Cecil, sing us a song while we're waiting.
All right, so too much. Is there a doctor in the house? Maybe a school nurse?
I have no idea. Uh, Where was I?
Number two.
Number 2.
Thank you. Let's try this again. Owner architect proposal, agenda item 2. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the owner architect proposal with Adam Stewart Architects for architectural services as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Cecil, second by, was it Andrea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 3, budget amendment number 1, FY 2024. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to authorize the board president and superintendent to improve and submit the appropriate 2023-2024 budget amendment to the State Department of Education to meet the requirements of the Code of Alabama as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
Second.
Motion by April, second by Andrea. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 4, approval of contract Kagan Cooperative Learning. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the contract with Kagan Cooperative Learning for professional development sessions as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Jason, second by Cecil. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 5, temporary power line easement. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to authorize the superintendent to execute all documents necessary in a form similar to the attached to provide Alabama Power Company with a temporary line easement as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So moved.
Motion by Rodney, second by Cecil.
Got it.
All right. Is there
All
any
right.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 6, superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve and ratify all acts taken by the superintendent to date and execute all documents necessary in a form similar to the attached in order to provide Riviera Utilities with a temporary utility easement as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So moved.
Motion by Andrea, second by April. Is there any discussion?
This has to do with ball and prep, correct? This has to do with ball and prep. Keep it online, right?
Yes, sir. It happened over Christmas, and if we had not done that, then they would be probably a month behind.
We don't want that.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 7, leave of absence of personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the leave of absence of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved.
Motion by Tony, second by Rondi. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 8, retirement and resignation of personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the retirement and resignations of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved.
Motion by Tony, second by April. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 9, rescission of transfer of personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve to rescind the transfer of personnel as provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Jason, second by Cecil. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 10, transfer intent to transfer of personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the transfer intent to transfer of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Cecil, second by Andrea. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
This next item, I need to step aside in just a second, but on this next item, which is agenda item 14, the next agenda item
11.
is 11. Agenda item 11, I'm sorry. That coughing obscured my vision, so. The next agenda item is special for me. Many of you know that I got married this past summer to a wonderful lady who is on the agenda tonight as she changes roles within our system. I have not been involved in this process. In fact, the process had to go through a secondary independent review to confirm her qualifications and appropriateness for this opportunity. I'm going to read to you a statement here required under the law and then turn this recommendation over to Mr. Johnson. In accordance with Alabama law and board policy, after receiving the principal's recommendation for this open position, I removed myself from my particular role as superintendent in the hiring process and referred the matter to the general counsel and board president. At this time, I will pass the agenda item to Mr. Johnson and provide no further comment or input regarding the item.
In accordance with Alabama law and board policy, Mike Johnson, the board president, asks for a motion to approve the transfer based on the principal's recommendation and report as submitted to board members under separate cover.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Cecil, second by Andrea. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Agenda item 12, employment of personnel. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the employment of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Andrea, second by Tony. Did I hear that right? Okay.
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Agenda item 13, teams contract. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the team's teachers' contracts and contract terms as listed and to authorize the superintendent to take all necessary actions in furtherance thereof as provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tony, second by Cecil. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 14, extra work for extended periods. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the extra work of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
Second.
Motion by Rondi, second by Tony. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 15, 2023-2024 revised extra work wages. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the revised 2023-2024 extra work wages as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Jason, second by Andrea. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
That's all I have, Mr. Johnson.
Anything from any board member for the good of the board? If not, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.